focusing on our rich history in the community, celebrating the people and events that make this the great place we call home. Wave 3 presents Wave Country with Dawne Gee.
I don't know if there is anybody that loves this community as much as I do. I know there's got to be somebody, but I do. I love Wave Country and all the wonderful things that are part of it. And I'm glad that you are here because we're celebrating. We are celebrating, there it is, the 100th episode of Wave Country. We kicked it off 100 episodes ago with a very, very, very dear friend of mine and sister. She is my spiritual sister. Denise Taylor is here. And she taught me how to always say, I get to. And it is now a way of life, not just something I say. Uptown Cafe. If I were Oprah, this would be my favorite thing show, okay? And you would not get a car. I don't have a car. But we've got black bean cakes, I hope. The Uptown Cafe is where I go after I talk to Denise or with Denise. And they have some of my favorite things, some of the favorite things I love to eat. And then Work the Meadow. I go in there and I spend all my green in my meadow. But the things there are so fabulous and they're not expensive. When you write in and you say to me, where'd you get that jewelry? Work the Meadow, what I'm wearing today. Work the Meadow, and most of the earrings there, $9. The necklace is $19. We'll talk about all of that coming up. But first off, before I go to Denise, and I love her dearly, I'm going to try to get through this without being emotional. Could not do this show without another person who is part of my family, and that is my producer, Tammy McNeil. 100 shows of her making me look good and making sure that I stay on track. There's my Tamas. There's my, say hi, Tamas. I love her. She is always with me, and I will shoot things to Tammy and say, I'd love to have this on the show, and she makes it happen and always keeps me straight. I couldn't do the show. And with all the folks out here on the floor, too, Dennis, Matt, everybody, I think Jen is directing today. I never know who's going to be part of the show, but honestly, I'm hard to work with. I talk a lot, and I never listen, and I never... Dennis, don't you say a word. Don't say a word, Dennis. I never do what I'm supposed to do, but I love each and every one of them. They make this all possible. I just chatter, but I love it. Now, to Denise Taylor. I get to. Everybody always says, and I've had 100 of these, why do, I know, Dennis, sorry, I didn't say I was going to, see, this is why I'm so hard to work with. Everybody always says, why do you wear that purple band every day? It says, I get to. I know it's flipped. Thank you, Denise. It says, I get to. I wear it because it's a reminder, number one, that I get to, and it reminds me of a lesson that I've learned that I take to heart and I share with everybody. I have given this band up, honestly, at least a good 50 times, and then I have to call Denise and order more bands.
You get to call me.
I get to call you. Did I say I get to? I didn't say I have to.
I don't mean to catch it. It's just a filter.
It is. This is how she, and we'll talk about all that. I don't know all what she wants to talk about because we were texting today and yesterday, and we didn't really talk about the show. We just are always talking. But do you want to explain the start of I Get To?
Oh, sure. Perspective is everything. I call myself a perspective trainer, and there's nothing in life that we have to do. Everything is an experience that we get to have, and we can glean from that the good, or we can take it away as something negative. And through my daughter's journey with leukemia and everything that's been challenging in that journey, finding the gift and the get to in it is what propels you to get over the hurdle and not tripped up by it.
Yeah, now if you're saying, well, she doesn't know what I've been through, but her daughter had her, what she calls heavenly birth. I have to watch what I say because she'll catch me. Your daughter, I can't say lost the battle with leukemia.
Well, that's the world's report. The world's report is that my daughter lost her battle with cancer, and I'm here to give a different report, that she crossed her finish line a victor. You know, the world's report is I've lost my daughter, and my report is she's with me still. The hair, when I said we get to mention the hair. The world's report is aging gracefully as Botox, hair dye, and plastic surgery, and I'm on a different kind of report with aging gracefully, and it's not easy. Like, the harder it is to say I get to, and the harder it is to go against the world's report to give a different one, the more empowered you are, and that's what I'm about doing, empowering people, lifting their spirits. There's too much suffering and struggle, and the way to increase health and happiness a lot of times starts with the perspective that one word gives.
Yeah, and I'm still learning. Lots of the time I'll say, oh my gosh, Denise, you will not believe what I have and I catch myself there, what I get to do. Because I've even learned that with my own illnesses. Sometimes I have to sit with infusion, and it will take me 8 hours for this infusion. But there's somebody out there who, like you say, doesn't even know what disease they have, don't have insurance, can't have an infusion. We have to think of those things.
Right. And that's where it all started. Janae was, I get to have chemo. You know, I get to sit through an infusion. I get to sit through whatever procedure. But not everybody has a diagnosis. Not everybody that has a diagnosis has a hope for a cure. Not everybody has insurance. Not everybody has a hospital. And so we went from feeling burdened and like a victim that had to go through these things to actually counting the blessings and that we get to. When she passed, and I know this is my strongest get to, and I use everything as a measure. When I kept hearing in my head, I have to bury my baby, I prayed for the get to. And it's one of those times that I got an answer to prayer immediately. And it was only one woman in all the world got to be her mother. That one woman is the one that gets to release her back into heaven's hands. And so it was palpable, the mourning and the heaviness and the sorrow that left, and I want to rejoice and give thanks and just celebrate her life and everything that it means to me and that I get to pay forward to everybody else.
I wish that we had the book here so we would get to show you that picture. Her book is Heavenly Birth, and it's about her daughter, and it's truly almost real time what was going on and what she was writing and what she was feeling. But on the front, you see where her daughter has reached her heavenly birth, and Denise is releasing doves up into the air.
Right, that picture's from her funeral.
There it is! There it is!
Yeah.
Thank you, Tammy. See? Tammy keeps me together. I love Tammy. And that is your book. It is available here in the city.
At weget2.org.
And at weget2.org, you can find out what Denise is doing, because I cannot keep up with her. You can also invite her to come to speak to you. I will say this, if you get to hear her, it is life-changing. It will turn your whole perspective around. I try to do the same thing, but I am not yet as good at it, but I am learning. I don't want to take away anything that you want to leave with this audience, and so I want to give this time to you.
I just want to meet people where they are. Every time that I get to speak and share the We Get To message, I challenge the audience. What is it that you feel burdened by and that you feel like you have to do? And we can right now in this moment find the perspective that allows you to see that you get to do it. And it's amazing. I have a heart, especially with youth and what they endure through their young age and as they're coming up. And the examples, there's a video on the website that these children can give after just a 30-minute presentation, that they get to have a brother with autism, they get to go through their parents' divorce. You can feel and see that it's a challenge for them to find that perspective, but you also feel that they're finding a strength to endure the tough stuff. Life is going to present tough stuff for as long as we're breathing. You know, the chart of a heartbeat is up and down. A healthy heart has a severe increase and a severe drop, a lot of time below the baseline. And as long as we have a heartbeat, we are going to adverse these highs and lows, and those get-tos allow us to get through the lows in a way that doesn't just kind of beat us up and hold us in that place.
Well, I get to have a show that comes on at some odd hours, so everybody may not see this. So go to We Get To, if you would, and share it. And the experience truly will be a blessing for you. You know I love you.
I love you. Congratulations. Thank you for having me back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anytime I'm having a bad day, my son, a 17-year-old, goes, maybe you should go have lunch with Denise. Mom, maybe you should. Programs for small groups, schools, nonprofits, radio show Monday through Friday, News Talk 1570.com used to be.
Right.
She gets to do something else now.
I get to find new affiliates and new partners. I want to be out there.
So if you have a radio show for her to do, she's already done that before, and she's ready to do it. When we come back, one of my favorite places I get to talk about, one of the best places in the world to eat, Uptown Cafe. Love it. We'll be right back.